What do you think the difference, or some of the differences you've seen from being a chef and being in the hospitality industry in strictly the restaurant side of things, but now we've introduced it into the residential home?
I think the experience that I had from doing all that and setting up the kitchens and the processes really was able to make me successful in implementing it here at Hosty because it's all new. And the big challenge is you're not working in one single kitchen, you're working all over town. So we have several chefs underneath of us to help. I have a whole list of chefs that I reach out to. So if I can't do the event, I have a list of guys that I go down to send out to. And, you know, we're cooking all the way up in Woodland Park and Cripple Creek and all the way up in Monument. So we're traveling quite a ways to get it done. But the big thing is we don't have a centralized kitchen. So everything has to be prepped in the home. Everything has to be cooked in the home. And that's the only way to abide by local and state regulations also. Is doing everything in the home, shopping, bringing it there, and completing everything in the home. Otherwise, we have to go out and get special restaurant licensing. We have to go get a building. It has to get certified. So this is kind of the way that private chefs do it.
So also, each home is different. Each home, the owner stocks their kitchen, and you can suggest they put certain things in there, but sometimes, you know, owners will just put certain things in there, and over time they'll add different things to their kitchen. Have you ever had any trouble where you went out to a property to cook a meal? Like, it's almost from a guest too, like a guest shows up to cook a full meal. Yeah. You show up to cook a full meal. Have you been left out to hang with?
Well, you never know what the last guest did with the items or what the quality of the equipment is in there. You know, guests, it's not their stuff. So they're, you know, maybe it's getting a lot of use. So I have my own equipment that I bring with me every time to make sure that I'm covered when I get to the house, only because I made that mistake before. And there was a dinner. It was a 12 top. I got everything out, only had 3 steak knives, and it was prime rib. So, I mean, that was a big issue. I literally dropped what I was doing, ran down to the store, got a couple of steak knives, and everything was okay. The guests didn't know the difference, but that could really be a big issue moving forward when they're paying thousands of dollars to have this real intimate meal in their home.
And this is an entire experience. This is kind of what we're discussing is what Hosty embodies, and that's a completely concierge experience to these guests from the booking to the checkout and everything in between. And if you have planned maybe your entire vacation time around staying in a Hosty home, and those little things can easily derail it. So also being in the property care side of things, you see guest issues, you see property issues, and everything in between. And you're also out there in front of the guests, actually prepping a meal for them, meeting them, and I'm assuming in some cases getting to know their life story in a little bit of a way. Just talk about that. What's that like?
Yeah, so I kind of get the whole round, everything of the customer I get to experience right now. So I get to hear him complaining about, you know, the stains on the carpet, and then I get to come in and everyone's having a great time and drinking and enjoying themselves, and get to hear of how great the experience was. And I think the big thing is we're taking someone from just staying in a home and having a stay and creating a whole experience around their stay and allowing them to, it's memorable. You know, we've done 63rd birthdays, what people that haven't seen each other in 10 years, they're going to remember this moment for the rest of their life. Last week I had a group of all women from all over the United States that all went to college together. They were just here in Colorado to have a good time and stay the weekend. I cooked breakfast for them one night, dinner for them another night, breakfast for them again.
They loved you.
They loved everything. And, you know, I have email and text after text of best food we had while we were here, and we'll never forget this moment. And
that's rewarding.
Yeah, we've even had a few famous people come through that were doing shows at Red Rocks and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's fun stuff.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I really got that. You basically become a guest in the home yourself.
Yeah, and I get to see what they're experiencing, and it helps me in the property care department as well. I'm in the home, I'm talking with the guest, and I try and kind of, you know, I really interact with them. I'm not just quiet in the kitchen working by myself. A lot of the homes are set up to where the kitchens are in the living room or near the living room, so everyone's kind of together, they're watching. So it's more than just the meal, it's the entire experience. Yeah.